Hey guys, what's up? We're back. I hope you've seen the track video. I hope you enjoyed it. And those of you guys that haven't, take a peek. It came out pretty good. I mean, I didn't get any runtime of myself because my cheap GoPro clone did what everybody else is doing apparently after I Googled it and found out it just won't turn on. So that kind of sucks. So I had to use my cell phone, and I didn't want to ask anybody to take the time to make sure that I got video of myself running. But I had a great day. My truck ran really well. The only issue I had with it all day was the diff. The modification that I did to take the play out of the diff with the shim, I didn't account for heat. Apparently there's enough heat that builds up here in the diff to where it needs a little bit of play. I shouldn't say that, but it needed a little bit of play because the heat would build up after 15 minutes or so, and it would cause everything to bind up. And within 5 minutes, it would cool down. I'd be good to go again. So I basically just need the shim's too big. But as far as leaking is concerned, I didn't have any leaking from the diff, and there's still zero play in the diff, as far as back and forth like there was before. Could I spend some money and just, buy the modified RC setup and be done with it, buy an alloy cup? Yes, I could. Will I? Probably, eventually. But again, if you go back to the videos that I initially did on this truck, and, the direction I was going with it was trying to, to race it, kind of a weekend for fun racer, on a budget, not spending $1 million, not driving a $3,000 truck. And so for the most part, aside from the engine, which I really didn't need, I still could be running that King Motor 30.5. I haven't really dropped a lot of coin on it. I really haven't. So I'm still trying to stay on that path of not spending a bunch of money. So yeah, that was an issue, of course. I ended up pouring two-stroke oil, dropping some two-stroke oil down in there so that I could lubricate it a bit and get a little bit more, 15 to 20 to maybe 30 minutes of runtime before it would, start to bind up on me, because that was getting to be a pain in the ass. But pull start, this is the Zenoa one. Once these things get dusty and start getting crusty, even with an outerwear, I've never not ran an outerwear on this thing. It's slipping, it won't catch. So I'm dealing with that. I've got to replace it. I'm going to go ahead and either put an easy start on there, or I don't know, I'll figure it out. Maybe an FID, or that I may even spend $20 and buy that cheap Rovan one, because a couple other guys seem to be having decent luck with it. My new outerwear. Friggin' cage must have been rubbing up against it, dude. For $5, the thing was mint. And it still is mint, aside from that rip, so that kind of sucks. But what are you going to do? $5. The clutch, remember how I was having issues with it in staying engaged and sticking? The 4-shoe Mad Max style clutch. It's still kind of doing it. And I don't know what to make of it. I really don't. So it is what it is. I think I'm going to end up buying a Turtle Racing snapper clutch. But in the end, the truck ran really strong, really hard. Taking the ring out of the bottom of the spark plug to make room for the ring for the temperature sensor, I think was a smart move. If you guys are running an iKilly or a temperature sensor with the ring on the plug, go ahead and cut the ring, the stock ring that's on the bottom of your plug, little washer. Cut that off so that your plug's at least sitting where it's supposed to. The Victory RC coupler, I can't say enough about it. This is, out of all the pipe couplers I've had, this one is really, really nice. And it held up well with the big zip ties on there instead of the actual metal clamp. My suspension did great with the new bladders in there. No major leakage, nothing nothing visible anyway. The Venom 6-volt Nyma pack ran strong all day and still has plenty of juice. The body, 30 North, still in one piece. Even left there without, check this out, without a bent rear shock tower. Still even have the posts. Guys, I did real well. I was running that track like I'm starting to get used to it, like I'm starting to know it. It felt good. And I really wish I got myself on tape, on video, but what are you going to do? The rear bumper, all in one piece still. it helps when you're not wiping out or your suspension's not stuck and, you know, donkey kicking you off every jump. The FLM cups, mint condition, man. I love those things. They're a little caked up because I greased them up, so they got a little bit of clay in there, but no issues back there. I don't see any wear on them at all. The rest of my cups are all in pretty good shape. So yeah, I mean, the truck ran great. It really did. I had a lot of fun. It was a great day. And if you guys haven't seen the video, check it out, man. There was some fast buggies up there and trucks. One of the new guys showed up with a bottle-owned Reed and a, I think a 34 full mod Reed OBR. And you can tell in the video, I'm telling you, those things were fast. And we had a good day. It was a good turnout. The track's owner, Jeremy, he was running his truck. He traded his buggy and went back to a low C5T platform and got himself a brand new motor. He was breaking it in. The Baja's back on the bench. I am going to take the time to finish the telemetry. I'm going to mount the speed sensor on the back. Where the little brake dust cover slides down. I'm going to cut a hole in it, and I'm going to mount the sensor right to the edge of it. The back of my Hostile spur gear is now flat black, and I'm going to go ahead and mock it with the reflective tape so that when that's spinning, it'll hit the reflective tape, and we'll get a readout on speed. As far as the RPM, I'm still going to take the RPM from the North and South Pole on the flywheel, but I'm going to actually make a little bracket so it's mounted inside here and as close as possible, just like the coil, to the North and South Pole when they go by it, so that I can get the best read possible. I got rid of that volt telemetry. I didn't know that I didn't need it. It was set up, or the way that FlySky is set up, it comes with a voltage telemetry, but you don't need it. It picks up the internal voltage through the receiver and sends it back to the transmitter. So it's just if you have like an additional battery on board, you know. So I got rid of that, and the only other one I have I'm going to be running, so I'll be running 3 telemetry sensors, is the temperature one. And of course I still have that one up inside the I think the 3rd fin down on the head, and that's mounted real well, so that's going to stay where it's at. I've been thinking about maybe lightening it up a bit, as far as maybe removing some of this plastic, and I'd hate to remove this because I think I paid almost 30-40 bucks for it, this Chase mudguard. But I mean, how much lighter is it actually going to get? And you know why I'm talking about lightening it up too, because I really want to see this thing wheelie. But I don't know. I really don't see that it'll be worth it taking that stuff off there. This thing is useful, especially when I'm running the body on there. So bottom line is I got to get it finished up. I got the fuel lines in. I didn't really leave myself a lot of fuel line. I basically just ran them right over, ran them right in. Boom. And this is the Snappy RC kit. I mean, for the money, the grommet they give you is really nice, and the valve itself, the little check valve type deal, is all aluminum, so it's nicer than the ones you'd get if you like went to a hardware store and bought an Echo weed trimmer one like I did for the for this rig. But they give you a grommet or like an O-ring for the gas cap because they're wanting you to delete the vent system in the gas cap. They want you to take out the vent system and plug this hole. I didn't want to do that, so I'll continue to run this vent and this vent. Can't hurt. But they give you this tiny little piece of fuel line. It's the chintziest fuel line that they give you, and so I didn't end up using it. And yeah, I didn't know with fuel lines you can put a little bit of heat on them before you got to fit them over a fitting like this, or that kind of I just didn't know you could put a little bit of heat to them, maybe with a blow dryer or a heat gun. It would make it a lot easier. I was having a hell of a time getting this style fuel line on this, so what I ended up using was this more kind of a pliable fuel line that came with my Zenoa, this black stuff. I ended up using that, and it's really flimsy. So you can see this, this would normally be kind of sticking up straight, but it's got this like looseness to it. I ended up having to use a zip tie because it doesn't come with any of those little ring clamps, and I didn't have any big enough to fit over that. This has got a really big outlet on it. So yeah, at least that's done. And aside from that, I think we just got to get this telemetry situation buttoned up and get the ass end of the truck back together. I think I am going to leave the 1856 gears in it instead of going back to stock. Because if I went back to stock, I'd have to buy a Vertigo 17-tooth pinion, and that's $20. I do have a stock plastic brand new spur gear that I could use, a 57-tooth, but I'd want to run a hostile one. And now with blowing $30 to go backwards, when initially I did the 1856 because I knew this engine was going to have a little bit more balls on the high end, so I figured I'd gear up a bit. But now I want to see it really. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Just stay tuned, guys. I am going to get some wrenching done and get this sucker all apart and figure out what I'm going to do with that diff. Like I said, I think I'm just going to shim it with a little bit smaller shim, figure out what's up with that clutch, if it is giving me a problem or not, and get rid of this pull stop. Aside from that, I think that's about it. She's ready to rock and roll. Powerful as ever. Let's just hope that Baja goes together like I need it to when it comes to the telemetry, and I'll have some running video as soon as possible. I promise. I'm itching to whack that throttle.